This is the Milk Bar office kitchen. It's pretty locked and loaded with people that love food, no surprise. I live just a few blocks from here, and so sometimes I sneak to the office when no one's around to get some work done. But also secretly, sometimes I come here to snack, or more often, just to bake, because I like a little peace and quiet when I bake. I'm gonna be making one of my favorite recipes. It's one of my favorite recipes because I'm born in Ohio, all my family's from the Midwest. The state flower and state tree, also the OSU stand-up emblem is the Buckeye. And for most people that don't know it, it's basically a Reese's peanut butter cup, but made at home. So obviously, big love letters for me. They start with peanut butter, 1 jar of peanut butter, 2 sticks of melted or really soft butter. Super nice. We use unsalted butter just so we can control the salt ourselves after the fact. 1 box of confectioners sugar. I love recipes that are 1 box or 1 bag of things. Means you don't even have to take out the measuring cups or spoons. So simple. Some salt. We use kosher salt because it's less salty and really just helps balance the flavor. And vanilla extract. That is a pro tip from me. Anytime I use peanut butter in something, I add a little bit of vanilla extract because it really helps the peanut butter flavor come through in a way that for me is like a love letter to a Reese's peanut butter cup. I love straight peanut butter, but when I'm baking with peanut butter, I always use vanilla extract as a sidekick. And a pinch of salt always goes a really long way. It's not to play off of salty sweet, it's really just to help enhance the edge of that peanut butter, specifically when we go to dunk it in chocolate. So, all those ingredients are together in this bowl, and you really just mix it around until it comes together, which I'll do now. My favorite thing about this recipe, even though I really do love baking alone, this is a really great recipe to make if you have a big party coming up, if you're just trying to stockpile some sweet snacks, or if you have some eager company or children that are looking for an activity. Buckeyes is the way to go. So this batter is starting to come together really nicely, which is great. You kind of just keep mixing with this spatula, a wooden spoon, whatever you got, until you have a nice, smooth, homogeneous mixture. My recommendation in general, when you're looking at equipment in your kitchen, you're gonna make a recipe, you always wanna choose a bigger bowl than you think you need. When I started this, I was like, yo, that bowl is way too big for this recipe, but it really helps curb the mess, and I'm a pretty messy stirrer. Use a lot of passion when I stir around. But our Buckeye mixture is coming together, which is looking really good. And I just start scooping this peanut butter mixture. This is about a tablespoon size scoop. Scoop the Buckeyes, keep them separate. It's okay that they look a little gnarly right now because we're gonna roll them with our hands. And if your peanut butter mixture gets caught, and doesn't want to let go of the scoop, you can always just dip it in water for a quicker release. That is pretty common buildup. So this is a great task for a sous chef that you might have, age 2 to 200. Just to get your Buckeyes doled out in size. All right, so once your peanut butter has been scooped, just take them and roll them into a slightly more rounded form in the palm of your hand. And at this point, I try to place them nicely on the parchment paper, just to help ease the step that comes next. While your Buckeyes are in the refrigerator, just firming up a little bit, you're gonna get your chocolate ready to dip. So it's a bag of chocolate chips. You can go as fancy as you want. You can stay super duper accessible the way my grandma used to do it. Power to you. 2 tablespoons of oil. Now, the oil in this recipe is really just to thin out the chocolate so that you don't get a really thick coating of chocolate. The secret to a really great Buckeye is the ratio of peanut butter and the flavor of it to that hard chocolate outer shell. So, chocolate chips, oil in a bowl. I'm gonna microwave them for 30-second spurts, just until I get a nice warm liquid state of the two. All right, my chocolate is nice and melted. Super fluid, warm. So I'm gonna set up a station here. Fresh new sheet pan with parchment on it. Grab my rounded Buckeye bases that are chill. Secret to a great Buckeye is also frilly toothpicks. I'll show you why. You're gonna grab those refrigerated peanut butter balls. You're going to skewer them, and then you're going to coat them in chocolate just until you can see a nice top round of peanut butter. Once you can give them a little dunk off and transfer them. So they foot. This is what a Buckeye looks like if you're from the fine state of Ohio. If you're not, just so you know, FYI. And you just repeat over and over and over again. This is a super fun activity to do if you're like watching some really shady TV. If you got friends over, if you have little ones, you're trying to keep busy. If you want to get super wacky, you can do things like use a different kind of chocolate. You could use white chocolate, you could use butterscotch. Even though I'm pure heart and soul Ohio, I would totally be a fan of that. You could also roll these suckers in something after you roll them in chocolate. If you want to coat them in coconut, give them some chocolate coconut pants or an outer coating, a little coat. That works too. But you're basically gonna keep doing this over and over and over again until you're done. This is my stash for home, but you can package them up. You can keep them in the fridge or the freezer like Grandma used to do. They make excellent snacks. They're kind of like an old school new age Powerball, if you ask me. They're extraordinary, they're delicious. They're for the chocolate peanut butter lover in all of us, and they're one of my favorite